Hey everybody, my name is Casey and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we are on Strawberry 2.0, if you will. So I made this little entrance area off of recording, and today we are going to work on the area that is in front of my resident services and work on the area that's kind of next to my resident services up here. And so this island, I finally have a vision for it. It's going to be a more like spring or forest core island. I'm thinking of maybe doing a land bridge up there, but I think overall doing this more natural theme should be fun for me because I've done a lot of natural islands in the past, and just with my last island being a lot more structured, I'm excited to work on a natural island. But here is my new map. I chose a map that has resident services further away from the airport, but other than that, I'm going to go ahead and start up the Island Designer app, and then I'll just kind of talk about my design process. Now for this build, the path code that I'm going to be using is different than the one that I currently have, but anyways, I'm just going to start out with some waterscaping and figure out how I can break up this area, because as you can see, I have that border around the in-game pathing, and as I was saying, I do intend on using a natural like 9-tile grass path as well for this area. So for me, when I'm using different types of pathing, it's important to try and break up some of the space in between them, but this is a pathing that I'm going to be using for this build. And also, I just want to say, I know I call it pathing. I saw a comment a while ago that it's called path. I don't think it's like that big of a deal. I mean, pathing just makes more sense to me, but call it whatever you want it. But if that annoys you, I'm sorry. It's just kind of what I'm used to. But anyways, and now I'm going to just work on fixing up some of this terraforming, because I want to be able to have the waterscaping connect from that area right in front of resident services to over here. So I'm just adding in some waterfalls on top of this cliff right here, and then just doing a little bit of cliff decorating. And I can't tell you guys how happy terraforming is making me. Like, I did have terraforming on my last island, Daisy, but it wasn't anywhere near as much as I wanted to do and how much I will be having on this island. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm also really looking forward to doing a more like forest core island. That's essentially why, I know I talk about the grass path a lot in this video, but that's essentially why I decided to change the pathing from this flowery path, because I felt like as I was going through this build, like I've created a lot of islands that had like really colorful aspects to it, whether it was the path I use or the flowers. So I'm kind of going to be transitioning the rest of my island, I think, into a more foresty build. I might even redo some of my entrance. I'm not too sure, but I want to create something that I am enjoying creating, but I also want to do something a little different. And I've done a lot of like colorful spring core islands in the past, so this one's going to be maybe a little bit more focused on forest core. But right now I'm just laying down this water code, and I really love this, and I think it's really cute if you can put some little like ducks on it, make it look like a little pond. It's kind of like the code that I had on my island Tea Light, but now with the 2.0 update items, they have those cute little toy ducks, and I'm using some like mum cushions as well that you can put on top of this pathing. So I just think it's nice to help break up the area a bit, and so I just placed down the toy ducks and the mum cushion there. Another thing I want to try and focus on for this island is using like a mixture of different fencing. I think that can look really good if you use like the country fencing, the barbed wire fencing, and even like the newer like log fencing. And so I'm going to try and incorporate that a lot. But now I'm going to just go ahead and lay down this pathing right here. I really love these natural paths because they're so like curvy and windy, and they give like a nice shape to your island. And so I'm going to just finish this up, and then I will stop back in. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is just do a little bit of terraforming, because I want to place down this incline right here that will lead us up to that second level. And so I'm going to be using the natural, I think, plank incline. I use that on Tea Light, and I just think it's nice to use that incline after using the log staircase one so much on my old island. And then I'm just kind of going back in and trying to fix up this pathing and make it look a little bit more curvy. That was another reason why I wound up changing the pathing. I don't have the updated one in this build, but it's linked on my card. It's like a grass pathing. But anyways, now I'm gonna just work on creating a little small area, and this is probably, next to terraforming, one of my favorite things to do. I love making small areas. I actually have a video on ideas for small areas. I will link in the card above if you're interested in seeing that. Definitely check that out. It's really fun to figure out how to fill in a space on your island. So now I'm gonna just pay off this incline to Lloyd, and then I will start working on decorating some of the rest of the area. I will let you all watch me do that for a little bit, and I'll just stop in whenever I have some time. So I'm almost finished up with that area in front of the incline. I am now going to go ahead and start working on this area up here where the land bridge is going to be. I'm going to decorate some of these cliff tops, and in the background you can see poor little Poncho already wants to leave. I don't understand. I have some villagers on my island that I would really just love to leave, and I just got Poncho and he already wants to leave. Like, why can't Pango or Midge or Drake leave? I don't get it. But anyways, I'm gonna just go ahead and come back up here and start working on this cliff top and adding in some different flowers. So I think it was around maybe this point in the build when I'm like, okay, I'm realizing that I'm leaning in a bunch to using like colored flowers, so I'm gonna really try and stick with using them in moderation, because I find that I lean on flowers a lot and then I wind up just having a bunch of flowers everywhere. So I'm gonna try and stick to like a color scheme for this island. Hopefully I can actually do it, but only time will tell with that. So I did kind of get stuck on what to do for this part of the build, and that made me realize that I needed to go look for some better code. So I spent a lot of time code hunting, and I also realized that I wanted to start incorporating some of the new crops like the wheat and the sugar cane plant. So you'll be seeing a lot of that on my island. And now I'm gonna just go ahead and start laying down this pathing, and as you can see, I have it all laid down. And then I just wanna continue a bit more on this land bridge. I extended out the terraforming just a little bit so I had a bit more room to work with. I'm trying to figure out what type of tree I want in this area. I'm not sure how I feel about that tree right there, but I'm gonna just leave it for now. And then here I'm just going in and doing some waterscaping to just add up like some different texture, I guess, or I don't know if it's texture, but just add a bit more interest to this area. And then as you can see, I have the waterfalls like alternating on each side of the cliff, and I will eventually connect this to my river mouth. I think I will probably do that off recording, but I will let you all watch me for a little bit, and then I will stop back in and give you any last tips I have before we do the final walkthrough for this area. I hope you all are having a good week so far. Definitely let me know in the comments what theme you are working on, because I'm super interested to know what kind of islands you all are making. So leave a comment below and let me know if you have made it this far into the video and what theme you're working on. So something I just wanted to touch on briefly is that I am working on extending out and reshaping some of this terraforming because I want to be able to add in some waterscaping to this area up here. I find whenever I'm having a difficult time decorating, if I try and mix up what I'm doing or add in some cliffs or waterfalls, it definitely helps break up the area a bit. I think that's the word I was looking for earlier, not texture, but just breaking up the area with different types of terraforming or waterscaping. So that's definitely a big tip I have. If you're struggling with decorating your island, try and add in some more waterscaping or terraforming. But as you can see, that little waterfall there just gave some nice little interest to this area. But now I'm going to just work on adding in some alternating cedar and hardwood trees and filling in the space between the trees with little seating areas or some items from the 2.0 update. I also found these really great codes for this island. I do want to say really quickly that if you are looking for these codes, I will need some time to actually be able to upload them to my card. So try and give me a couple days on that. A lot of the codes I need to make sure that I'm crediting the creator properly. I was just thinking of potentially just making like a Pinterest board of all my codes, but I've worked so hard on my card that I just don't know if I want to stop adding to it. I think there will be become a point for my card that I won't be able to add any more photos of codes to it. If you guys don't know what a card is, it is a website where I have all of my island codes linked on it, a little bit of information about me and whatnot. So that is always linked in the description of the videos, as well as our Discord for the channel. So if you want to join that, it is in the description as well. But anyways, as you can see, I am just designing this little area right here. A helpful tip for these smaller areas is try working with items that you can put in like a space of like 3. So maybe grab like a taller item, a medium-sized item, and a smaller item. That can really help your design process and trying to figure out what to put in these smaller little areas. But right here, I'm just extending this grass pathing a little bit, and then I just have to go in and fill a couple smaller areas, and then I will stop back in during the final walkthrough for this video. Alright, so here we are. This is the area that is kind of in front and next to my resident services. So this is the little incline leading up here. I put down a little painting and seating area. I thought this was really cute. And then if we continue on this way, you'll see the little items I've added to each side of this grass pathing. I will eventually work on extending that land bridge. I think I'll probably do that off of recording. But this is the fully completed area. I hope you guys enjoyed this build and were able to take some inspiration for your own island. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.